Yeah, so it's 2023 and not far into 2023. And I realized the other day, I was like, I should go in the studio and cut about 55 review videos because there's a pile of guitars in there. And so I came in here and I was like, so what guitar do I do first? There is really only one choice.
Guitar Stuff with John!
Welcome back. It's 2023, and this is the first Guitar Stuff with John of this year. I am super proud to still be here with you. It's been over 3 years now. We started this way back in the beginning of 2020. It's getting close on. Well, it's 3 years for sure. Getting close for 3 years, and I have had the most incredible experience, probably of my career, just being involved with this process. I've got to meet and work with unbelievable builders and companies that are a part of the guitar landscape, that will never go away. And to do the inaugural video for 2023, I'm going to feature one of my favorite builders. And this guitar is really, really unique. I was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee last year, and I was going through some instruments at my good friend David Mathis's company, which, as we know, is Gallagher Guitars, the legendary Gallagher Guitars. There was a bunch of instruments in the room, and I was actually filming videos for him, demoing these guitars, and he said, you should try this one and see what you think about it. And he handed me this guitar. This is the Jim Hurst Gallagher signature model. It is a mahogany slope-shouldered dreadnought. It has, it's a fairly straightforward instrument, but the sound is not straightforward at all. The sound of this instrument is absolutely shocking. And for that reason, I had to buy this guitar. I took it with me. There's a great backstory behind it too, but I want you to hear it first. Oh. The guitar of the perfect G chord. it's an absolute beast. And I don't know, well, we're going to find out because I got a treat in this video for you too. But, so the backstory behind this thing is pretty funny. This guitar was not for sale. It was sitting in the shop waiting for Mr. Hurst to come get it. And I was there on a Sunday. Mr. Hurst was coming on the Monday. And so I said, I got to have this guitar, David. And he said, well, it's for Jim. He's coming to get it Monday. And he said, I don't want to sell it anyway because there's a problem with it. And I said, oh, yeah, what's the problem? And so I'll show you close up. But the two side markers on the neck right here are off by like, I don't know, maybe a couple millimeters, maybe. That's the mistake. And David didn't like that. He was like, I can't let that go. I don't want to let that go. I mean, if Jim wants it, he can have it, but I don't like that. And so I said, okay, fine. Well, if Jim doesn't want it, ship it to me because I'll buy it. And so anyhow, I left. Jim showed up the next day, played it, loved it, but looked at David. I guess David may have mentioned I wanted it. And Jim goes, well, I already have two of these. I don't need a third. So why don't you let it go to Canada? And so because of Mr. Hurst and Mr. David's generosity and thoughtfulness, this guitar landed on my doorstep about 10 days later, and it's been here ever since. Now, what I can tell you about this guitar is it's a classic mahogany sound, but it's way more than that because it's a slope-shouldered dread. Slope-shoulder guitars, in my opinion, are just like, there's something about them. They have a tone and a projection that a normal dreadnought shape doesn't seem to have. And it's across the board with any slope-shouldered instrument. I've played a lot of them, and they're all the same. Usually a slope shoulder only is 12 fret to body. This one's 14. So, and overall, the guitar just cries out to be played. When you're picking the thing, the notes leap under your hand. It's that kind of a guitar. It's got that same magic that Robin has, and Yeri has, and Maestro has, and the high-end Yamahas. They got this thing that the guitar is just chomping at the bit to deliver, right? And you can't beat that. That's something that really makes you want to play and practice more. It's just one of those guitars that you can't miss on. Like, and I haven't played in a couple of weeks because of the holidays and stuff. And it's just, the notes just leap under your fingers. It's just that kind of design. I love the neck of this guitar. It's different than any other neck I've played. It's not this way, right? But this way, there's a lot of space there. It's just got a beautiful profile. It's just designed to play, right? And, of course, just so much tone and color and volume. It's really loud. And one thing you should know about all my videos is, and people, I have to say these things because people make assumptions and comments on the videos, not knowing a few things. Number one, because we're going to video, because we're going to YouTube, the audio on all these videos has light compression on it. So that means if I was comparing two guitars, right, they'd both be the same volume because the compression causes that. So when you're hearing this guitar, especially through a good set of headphones, you're hearing it studio quality. It's actually, this is my studio mic. If I was recording this on a record, this is the mic I would use, and this is the mix I would use. There's no EQ on this. There's no reverb. There's a light compression, a Renaissance compressor set just to keep it from overpowering and possibly cacking out YouTube and the camera, right? So that's something you got to keep in mind on all my videos, that there is processing, but not frequency processing. It's just volume processing. Also, it makes the guitar sound nice and close to your ear, which I need you to hear. But just a beautiful, beautiful instrument. So let's take a close look at it. There's a lot to talk about on this guitar, and then we're going to have a really special surprise. So here we are, guys, at the headstock of the Jim Hurst signature model Gallagher. It is a beautiful head veneer, is rosewood, nickel hardware. They work flawlessly. There's my favorite thing. I love that G. Nut saddle. A nut saddle? What is wrong with you? Holy ebony fingerboard, or possibly rosewood. I have to check the specs, but it's a beautiful board. It's gorgeous. Simple fret markers. This neck feels wide. I think it is a 1 3/4. It is definitely a 1 3/4, but it somehow feels wider than that, which is a weird thing to say, but it's just got so much room. It's so roomy. And then we come down to the body, and you have your trad rosette around the sound hole, a clear pickguard, and this beautiful Sitka top. Could be Adirondack too. I'm not sure of that either, but it's a beautiful piece of wood. And this guitar, I've been playing the living crap out of this guitar, and so it looks used, and that's because, buddy, it is. Now, you're gonna see my boo-boo. See that? Totally my fault, exposed this guitar to some harsh sub-zero temperature, and I got a long finish check in it. But it's not through the wood, of course. It's not doing anything. We've checked that it's good, but I don't care. I could care less if this thing looks like a spider web. It sounds so good, and it's, again, my fault that happened. But anyhow, it is flawless. The guitar is so well made. It's got a beautiful ebony bridge, bone saddle. Those are my Carta pegs, tortoiseshell binding, which I love. You get a close look at that somehow. We'll look around the side, perhaps. Then you've got this lovely mahogany. You can see the tortoiseshell binding there. Really nice, rich appointment. And this beautiful back, the standard herringbone trim, ebony heel cap. Beautiful grain in this thing. Just a gorgeous looking guitar. Yeah, she's a beast. There's our sticker. There you go. The Jim Hurst 2022. So yeah, that crack is all my bad. And like I said, it's only a finish check. I think it adds character. I'll keep it. Anyhow, this guitar is one of my favorite dreadnoughts that I have. It is unlike anything I own. It sounds, it's hard to describe. It sounds sort of like a Martin, sort of like an old Gibson, but it has all the kind of tonal qualities that a Gallagher has. Like it rings like a bell, and there's no other way to say it, but that's what we're talking about, man. Gallagher rings like a bell. All right, now that we've had our close-up look at the Jim Hurst model Gallagher guitar, we're going to do something really cool that I've never done before, and this is going to be fun. So what we're going to do is we are going to call David Mathis. Now, we could bring him in video on this, but he's too busy to do that. It's a different setup for them down there with their YouTube channel and all that stuff. So this is the best way to do it. So we're going to call him. This is going to be awesome. Watch this. Call David. All right, you ready to go?
Man, I'm ready to go. Anytime it has something to do with you, I'm ready to go.
All right, okay, well, here we go. I'm going to say hello, and then we're going to start, all right?
Okay.
Hello there, Mr. Mathis.
Hey, JT.
How are you
Good
doing?
to hear from you.
This is awesome. Welcome to the very first Guitar Stuff with John video of 2023, buddy.
Man, that's cool. That's cool. I wonder what you might be reviewing on your very first review.
Well, guess what? I just happened to pull out my trusty Jim Hurst signature model slope shoulder Gallagher, and I've just demonstrated it to the people, and we've taken a close look at the instrument. And man, she's a cannon. And I told the whole story of how I got it, and the little mistake on the fret dot on the side, and leaving it there because Jim was going to pick it up and he didn't. He already had to, and I told the whole story. So it's a really special guitar. I feel like I've really lucked into a special instrument with this one, and there was no way I could leave it with you. So.
Well, I'll tell you, I remember that day very well. You really did not want to leave that guitar.
No, sir, I did not. No.
But that guitar was played by Jim, and it definitely got the Jim Hurst seal of approval, by the way.
Yes, sir. Well, I can't see it not. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about, I know the people watching would like to know more about perhaps how you came to all the decisions of the specifications on this guitar. Because the things that I notice about it right away is the extreme playability of the neck. The profile of the neck is amazing. And when I was reviewing it, I told the people, I was like, this is a guitar that, like, the notes jump up under your hand, like they're just screaming to get out, right? You don't have to struggle at all to play, really difficult things on this guitar. It's very, very easy to play. And why it's a slope shoulder, perhaps, and different things like that.
Yeah, well, let me talk about that a little bit. And actually, you've already really found the key part of that guitar, which Jim wanted a guitar that was very playable. Now, Jim is like you. He can take any guitar and make it sound fantastic because he's, like you, extremely talented. A little bit of the background about Jim. He was a truck driver and started playing guitar on the side and doing some things. And his friends got together and said, "Jim, you need a good guitar. We're going to pitch in and buy you a good guitar. We want you to go pick out a really good Martin."
Wow.
But he didn't want a Martin. And so he said, "Well, what I want is a Doc Watson Gallagher guitar."
Wow.
And he found one at a local store in Ohio where he lived. It just happened to be coming into the store. And that guitar, it wasn't long after that, he was playing on the Grand Ole Opry. He played with Holly Dunn and Sarah Evans and Trisha Yearwood, different artists.
Wow.
And then later, he went more solo, I guess would be a fair thing to say, even though he still played with like the Claire Lynch Band. He and Missy Raines did a couple albums together. That would have been, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And he won Guitar Player of the Year 2 years with IBMA.
Wow.
And then it was after that, Don told me that Don said that he approached Jim and said, Jim, we would like to build a guitar the way you want a guitar built.
Yeah.
And they worked together to come up with this design. That's what Jim wanted.
Wow. So that's incredible. That's I have to give you kudos again, because you're carrying on something that the family started with this guitar. That's unbelievable. It's one of the things I love about you most as a person, is that you have so much respect for where this headstock came from and all the people that were involved with it. And strangely enough, too, it sounds like to me that Jimmy came into the scene right when I was in Nashville the first time in 92, 93, because those artists were playing the Opry when I was playing the Opry with the Sullivan family and different people. So that's really cool. I didn't know that about Jim. So I just learned something today. It's amazing how many guitar players there are in the world, and how close by you are to some of them and never meet them.
Right.
And
let me say something in that regard. We're having a Gallagher Day, May 27, 2023.
Yes.
Jim Hurst is going to help again with setting up the evening show and some performances during the day. And you're hoping that you're going to be here. I've already mentioned that to Jim. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. As far as I know, I am on my way there, buddy.
Okay. Well, wouldn't that be neat for you and Jim to be able to play together?
I would just love that, and it's just another. My association with you, like my association with Robin and Chris Meikle and these other people that are so active in this world of guitar, you've put me in contact with some amazing people. Like I've had conversations with T. Michael Coleman and Jack Lawrence and different people, all because you got behind us and got behind me as an artist and a person. And I don't know how to thank you enough for that. It's been an amazing run, man. Kind. Been an amazing run.
You're very kind. Yeah. Of course, I can't wait to hear the review on the Jim Hurst model, to hear you play that guitar.
Oh God, you're gonna love it. I haven't played for a couple of weeks. I was just telling them, I was like, after having not played all over the holidays, like I've been off for about 2.5 weeks, I guess, and I picked this guitar up with a real heavy pick, because I wanted to get a nice big tone on it, and man, my hands just flew over it, because it's so easy to play, and I'm getting old now, so I got to warm up a bit, and not with this thing, man. Holy Jesus, just like it just explodes out of your hands, right? So I don't know.
I think I mentioned that Don approached Jim in 2008, and Jim is a big fan of these guitars and wants to support us. He believes in that family and that tradition and connection with Doc Watson. And so I wanted to continue this model.
Yeah.
And we're really pleased to be able to offer it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I won't hold you up any longer. I know you got guitars to build. You're there at the shop right now. And but I want to tell you that, and I'm sure you have time from time to time to go, look on the channel and see the comments and see how much people love you and love these guitars and love what you're doing. And I'm going to continue till my dying day to tell people about everything that you're doing. And you're a good friend, and you're a good friend to guitar players everywhere. Thank you for what you're doing. It's really, we need it. We need more of it in this world right now.
Well, JP, I appreciate that. You're a sweetheart. But I want to say one other thing before we go. And that is, I was talking to someone the other day about you, and one of the things I can count on with you is that you're a straight shooter. You're very open with us about things, the good, bad, the ugly. And so you wouldn't be doing this if you didn't believe in what we were doing. and I appreciate that.
Well, I've always been that way, and the channel keeps me honest. It doesn't have to work hard to do that, but I owe the people that watch this. There's hundreds of thousands of people that count on me to tell the truth. So that's sort of what I have to do. But it's easy to tell the truth holding a guitar like this. So I thank you, sir.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you in May.
Absolutely.
All right, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye now. Isn't that incredible? Man, what a just a gem of a human being that guy is. And he's just like Robin. He's just like Hosen. He's like Chris Meikle. He's like these people that are in this for all the right reasons, right? They're just great people. And so, in closing, if you're looking for, I got so enthralled with the story and talking to David, but if you go on their website, GallagherGuitars.com, I think is what it is, you can look this up, find the MSRP. There's dealers all over the place, and this is a standard model that they make. And if you're looking for something special that's just a bit outside the norm, has a massive sound profile, and plays like a dream, this is the guitar that you want. Remember that Gallagher was the first boutique guitar builder in the United States ever. And David Mathis is carrying on that tradition started by JW and carried on by Don. And it's a great banner he's carrying. And you can't beat the guitars. Anyhow, thank you for being with us again. This is the first video of 2023 featuring the Jim Hurst signature model Gallagher. And what a beast guitar this is. Don't forget to go online and look at these things and behold the magic that is Gallagher guitars. I love you. Thank you. And I get all your comments, all your questions. I see them every day. They come right to my phone. Keep on sending them in. If you haven't hit subscribe, please hit subscribe. It's free to you, but it helps me a massive amount. And hit your notification bell. Give me a subscribe. If you know people that like this kind of stuff, foolishness that I do, tell them to watch. Tell them to hit subscribe. Doesn't cost them a dime. And so there you go. Gallagher Guitars. I'm JP Cormier. A special shout out to my buddy Patrick Lundgren at Flat Pick Nation over in Sweden. And that is a wrap for video number 1 of the year 2023. What do you think of that?